What's up, guys? We're taking a look at the Nexigo N970P. It's a premium priced webcam that is designed for conference room use. But as we can see here, it looks to be a great overall webcam for general use as well. Nexigo is a fantastic company to work with a lot of great products, and I'm always happy to review the stuff that they send me. And though they did send me this camera to review for free, and behind the scenes I do have a great working relationship with them, that will in no way influence my opinion of the product. This is a fair and honest review, and my opinions are mine and mine alone. And immediately it's got one thing working against it for this channel. It's got a hefty price tag at $200, but it also has a lot of features. However, are those features worth it? Let's take a look and find out. So here's what this image quality looks like under manual configuration. I'm recording this entire video in 4K at 30 frames per second, and I think overall this looks pretty good. But keep in mind it's being recorded with manual settings configured. I got out of automatic mode. Now let's take a look at this remote that comes with the device. We're able to control the zoom and pan of the picture. But keep in mind this is digital zoom and pan. We can also assign presets to the number keys. To assign a preset, just get the picture set where you want. I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to assign this preset to number 9 on the buttons here. So I'm going to hit set preset and then 9. And we see that preset 9 showed up in the corner. Now I'm going to set a different preset. So I'm going to pan over about right here. And I'm going to set this one to set preset number 8. And I'm going to do one more that's panned all the way here. And I'm going to do closer zoom, come up a little bit more, and I'm going to go set preset number 7. So now if I hit home down here on the remote, it should go back to its default settings. Perfect. But did any of the presets work? Let's take a look. Preset number 9. Preset number 8. Preset number 7. And back home. That seems to be working out pretty well. I can see where using these zoom presets would be really handy for somebody giving a presentation and they're going to be at different points on the stage and they are controlling their own production, but I can also see where that would be handy for a preacher giving a sermon at a church on a Sunday stream as well. We can use the remote to turn on digital smart framing, and what that will do is it will pan and zoom to keep us in frame as best as it can. Now it does have its limits because it is a digital pan and zoom, so if you move out of the camera's sensor range, then it's not going to work, but we're going to test that out now. You go into Menu, Setup, Auto Framing, and it's listed as open close, which basically I think has been a translation of off and on. But we're going to turn it to open, and we're going to leave the default sensitivity at 2. Now we're going to test this out. That appears to work fairly well. To turn it back off, simply go into Menu, go into Setup, go into Auto Framing, and change it back to close. And hit Menu to get back out of the menu. We can also use this remote to configure the picture settings of the webcam. This is actually the recommended way of configuring the webcam. Unfortunately, it won't save the profile picture to a preset, and to me, it's a bit of a hassle to use this remote to configure an image profile, and it's just not as user-friendly as using Nexigo's software that is available for download from their website. Nehowever, there is a bug with the software currently, and it won't allow you to control the gain function with the Nexigo desktop software. I've talked to my contact at Nexigo about this, and it will be resolved in the next update, but for now, this is your best option for assigning manual settings to the webcam. Luckily, you only have to do it once, as the camera has built-in flash memory, so that's a bonus. To confirm this, I changed the color settings to this extreme horrendous looking image, and then I unplugged and loaded the webcam onto a different PC. And sure enough, the color settings were indeed saved in the webcam. So that flash memory is nice. You don't have to worry about your webcam settings going all wonky on a whim or going back to their default settings after you reboot the PC. I hate that. Setup in Zoom is extremely simple. The camera is instantly detected and selectable from the drop-down box. It's also easy enough to set up in Skype based on the drop-down menu, so I think it's safe to assume that you can really set this up easily in any software that will accept a webcam. And it goes without saying that setting the camera up in OBS is also very simple. Just add it as a video capture device in Sources. And though this camera does have an intentional design of being a conference room webcam, if you are inclined to use it for streaming with manual settings, good lighting, and optimal camera placement, with minimal effort, you can get a pretty good looking picture from the camera to use in a production setting. And the best part about that is when we go into manual settings to optimize the image, the frame rate doesn't drop through the floor, like some other premium 4K webcam who shall remain unnamed. Logitech Brio. Who said that? Here's a side-by-side of this camera configured manually, optimized for my current lighting setup. And over here, we've got everything set in automatic mode. As you can see, there's a vast improvement, and I believe it's worth the extra effort to get it set in manual mode. And here's a side-by-side of this camera configured manually in comparison to the Logitech Brio in auto mode. You may ask why the Brio is in auto mode while this camera is in manual, and I did a full video about that right here. Here's a microphone test of the built-in microphone of the Nexigo N970P. I'm at about arm's length away. I do have noise reduction turned on, but there's not really any noise in the room right now. Now this camera is massive, and if you put it on top of your monitor, it shouldn't be an issue. But for people like me who have their monitors mounted kind of far away, I can't really put the camera on the monitor without it bringing a bunch of extra stuff that I really don't want to be in the image from the background because it's a really wide angle camera. Finding placement on your desk for such a large device could be a hassle, and I just wouldn't recommend this camera for the individual worker who is looking for a standard webcam to use for basic Zoom calls or something like that. Overall, it is pretty expensive. For the average everyday person, I recommend the Nexigo N970P, which is a great webcam for the individual user. For anyone who is interested, here's a side-by-side of the Nexigo N970P in comparison. I've configured both camera settings manually, and both of their lenses are as close to one another as I can get them. This N970P clearly has a tighter field of view, and it is a 1080p camera rather than 4K, but at under $60, it won't break the bank. And again, I want to reiterate that this N970P is geared towards using in a conference room, though I'm certain a creative streamer can find a way to mount it for production use. But I think I've covered pretty much everything that I need to cover on this webcam, and I hope I've given you enough information to make an informed decision for yourself. If there's anything that I missed, be sure to post your questions in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time.